Well, after about 15.5 hours to Lima, this is our hotel here, the Mariel, and actually it's quite nice. Rooms are very simple and Spartan, but we're on the 5th floor, but it's quite nice.
Of the young people here. Okay, you're going to find everything for your culture and entertainment here. Discos, cinema, gallery, theater, shops in the shopping and the commercial area of Lima.
Just drove to the, about 5 minutes to the coast. We are now in the Park of Love. Because it never rains in Lima, this statue is made all of mud and never gets washed away. Yeah, well, we're now right in old Lima, and looking back at the main square and the cathedral. One of the things, unique characteristics only found in Lima, not the rest of Peru, are these little balconies that stick out. That was one of the traditional ways in which they built along the old part of the city. So this is some sort of church here.
In this monastery is a burial of the 2 Peruvian saints, Santa Rosa de Lima and San Martin.
As we walk again, we can see the balconies. We're inside the church. There's communion going on in the main altar. Side of the palace where the current president is, and there was, I think she said back in July, there was a little bit of a oh, what am I looking for, uprising, yeah, so there's tanks and guards and we are at the front of the palace. And again, the guy who's the president, he's of Japanese descent. They really don't like him, I guess, and he's sort of on his way out. Now looking to 180 degrees from that mayor's palace, or the city hall rather. We're now looking at the cathedral, and this was built like in the 16th century, 17th century. It's the St. Francis Church, and then there are some catacombs which we are going to visit, and of course then there's the protection. We are inside the cathedral. Interesting part is the ceiling of the dome, made from cedar wood. We are now in the biblioteca. So now there's St. Francis, the founder of the seminary. Here of the monastery. I keep calling it seminary and everything else, but it's Franciscan monastery. They're all the saints, and actually they depict how they died. He died from gardening tools. It's going to be too easy to tell here, but during the earthquakes you can see that this wall is about to fall down. It's sort of crooked, and so are some of those columns. They're made from the mud and cane. are in the main altar. Still used today. And we're told that right where that guy is standing in the middle there's a grate, and that was the entrance to the catacombs, or the cemetery. Oh, here's the grate. Right, we're now heading through the catacombs. Now you can see many skulls. Now here we can see a few more bones, skulls, femurs. So here we are going to have a little bit of lunch at Tony Roma's, of all places. But it's about the only good place. We decided we'll take a tour since we have a 3-day. We're going to go to the south of Lima to visit some ruins. Not too much going on Sunday. Now we're in Barranca, the water, and there's like a gorge here. And then along the gorge are all these little houses. And it's springtime, so there's lots of flowers. So then along this gorge, all these houses at night become restaurants. Would be fun to come here and have dinner one night, but I don't think we're going to have enough time. This is a Peruvian lawnmower. This is an alpaca, some of the ruins. And this is a Peruvian hairless dog. Hi, guy. Now, we're very near the water, but as I turn here, we'll see. We'll see some llamas sitting there, but these are the old ruins, and this is all desert. And like in Lima itself, we're about 30-40 kilometers south of Lima along the coast. Never ever rains. Ever. Never rains in Lima. Never. Can't believe it. Well, we're gonna go visit, this is Inca ruin. There were 4 different civilizations. Learned also that the Incas only lasted about 100 years or less. You can see we're out in the deserts. Well, we're at the wall, and you can see that they use a stone, and then it's more of that like adobe mud. Up on top of this Inca room, and what we're looking at right here are like the couches where they would bring the virgins for the sacrifice, and all the chieftains would be sitting in seats here, and as legend goes, they would line up all the virgins lying down, and they would choose only one virgin to be sacrificed. So this was quite a big area, and again very deserty. Now, as part of our deal, we go to have a nice Peruvian lunch at this real nice restaurant. Well, as part of our lunch, we have the traditional drink of Peru, the pisco sour, which is sort of like a margarita. Well, after 3 days and Lima, we are getting ready to depart to Cusco, up in the Andes, up in the mountains. It'll be quite different than here. Well, we made it to Cusco. We are about 11,000 feet in the Andes, and so you got to be careful of altitude sickness. And there's some church, we're right on the square here, and our hotel's right on the square. It's very convenient. Susan's checking the shops out. I'm just gonna go behind a pole. So I'll just take a little tour of the central area here. Sort of reminds us of Santa Fe. All the Indians. Now we're in the, just above our hotel on the second floor. There's a little restaurant. It's about 5:30. So we thought we'd just sit up here and have a cerveza and take a look. Then all kinds of people go through the square. And I believe the darker skinned people like this gal sitting here, these are the Highland people, and they wear the traditional, you know, they wear the leggings and the skirts and the hats. Gracias. So Susan got her cerveza. Some of the more traditional gals that walk the streets selling their goodies. So as I was trying to say earlier, Saturday we were at the President's Palace, and all those guards. There was an uprising on July 28th, and Saturday night the president left town. Kids are always cute. And the way we go up the mountain is through an ingenious combination of switchbacks. That rail down below is where we just were. We were going backwards, now we're going forward, and we're going up the mountain. Then we will stop and go in reverse and go up the mountain some more. Well, we're at Machu Picchu after a little over 3 hour train ride. We now have to take about a 25-minute bus ride that's really smooth. We made it to the top. We started off someplace down there by bus. And we're up here, I think this is about 10,000 feet. And I don't know why anybody would be dumb enough to build up here, but I think you can now see on top of this mountain. I don't think we're going there. Well, Machu Picchu was founded by this guy from Yale. Found it up here, 60% preserved in 1911. There were 128 single houses, family houses, and I forget how many religious places, but it housed about 800 to 1,000 people, no more. And this was really only just a village. And they are still doing restorations. And like I say, this is only a village. Cusco, where we had been and we'll eventually go back to, was a much larger Aztec, or Inca, not Aztec, Inca city. And it was the main Inca city. This one here was just on the edge of the jungle. This is really high. Wonder how they got up here. Well, there's the train that we came up on. And he told us the name of the river, and I don't recall. But this is the beginning of the jungle. And this river flows and becomes the Amazon River as it flows down into the jungles. Interesting to note here how this, we're told, was a temple, and how it was formed at the base of a rock, and then they just continued and formed the stones and to form the wall of the temple. Machu Picchu is an active village around 1400, just prior to the Spanish coming in and taking over. This is high up here. I'm told it's only 9,000 or 8,000 feet, not 10. So it's not too bad. It's about 3,000 less than Cusco is. Well, no place would be complete without lunch. And our first Peruvian music. Trying to locate our hotel. Just came out of those mountains. We have to walk through the train station and then up a few more stairs. I'm about dead, and it's only 3 o'clock. She already went through the fence. Like a jungle out there. I don't know where we're going. Hopefully it's not too much further. Maybe success. Well, after hiking through the jungle, we did find our abode, number 51. So as we walk in, we have a nice little fireplace. Like a cathedral ceiling. French-like doors. A couple nice beds. Bathroom. Hard to see any of this. There's a shower right there. So now I'm right outside our patio. Nice dinner with some nice Peruvian music, and we said we wanted a fire, so what they did was they sent the guy over and he made us a nice little fire. So now we can sit and read our books. No TV in the room, which is fine. Thursday morning. So we have the rest of the day here at Machu Picchu. Yeah, having a little breakfast. Now we're just walking around the grounds and found the swimming pool. And there's two small pools, they say for kids or whatever. It's sort of right in the jungle. And the little cabanas or whatever you want to call these little things are just built all around. Now after a leisurely morning of doing nothing, sitting on our balcony, we're going to take a little tour through the jungle here. There's supposedly more than 100 different varieties of orchids. Yeah, as we're starting out here, you just look up, that's where our room was, where we spent the morning just lounging. It is quite jungly here, and this is the very fringe of the Amazon rainforest or jungle. And as you go down in elevation, it gets much thicker. Not really hot, but steamy. Some bananas. Haven't found too many orchids, but I was just walking around here, some really tiny strawberries. So we're just waiting for a train. And so the train station is back in that direction. As we're up in the higher altitudes now, we can see it's not quite as humid and moist. It's more dry, and we see a lot of cactus and actually some planted fields of corn. So much of the vegetation is gone, the air is drier, more like desert, and we're going from about 6,000 feet at Machu Picchu station to Cusco, about 11,000 feet, so we're going about a mile vertical height. Some little station here, and people are out. Now we negotiated $1 for Susan from this lady right here. City of Cusco, and that would be the square, and it sits down in a bowl. By going through a series of switchbacks, we're actually walking down the mountainside down into the bowl of the city. Take a look again. Using a different camera setting. This is about 8:30 after we returned from Cusco. Down the other way, another church or cathedral. So we're right on a nice corner, and there's our little grocery store that we found. So we're all set. get our drinks. And this is sort of the main street, sort of the banking stuff and all on this street. We stopped on the way down in the valley. That river is the Urubamba River, and that's the same river that we were traveling along with the train. Selling stuff.
Top over here, look at, is the Inca tomb. To the right hand, I don't know if you can see up there, there are some Inca sites. Is designed by a rock.
Small town, and we're gonna go do a little shopping in the village or something. So we're now going down this little street here. Well, here are some guinea pigs, and we may have one of these for lunch. This is a delicacy here. Get it? Making these things there. So we're back at that market. Hacking up those fishies. Okay. Susan's over there negotiating for some goodies. Well, I can't wait. Just back up here.
Why don't you back up?
I'm trying. Entering the town of Urubamba. Someplace I think we're going to stop for lunch. Stop for lunch. We're at a Best Western. Hard to imagine here we are out in the middle of some valley in the Andes of Peru, and then here's this Best Western Hotel. Village, and then I see my nemesis over here. I have to go climb. Just what I'm up for. It's taken me a long time, but I'm at the highest point that I'm going.
Think of it. It can be. How we have to process? You can see the basket, and inside the basket, the corn or maize that we have to put inside the pickle tines, and we have to mix with some water. 4 or 5 days until germinate the corn. You can see. That is excellent, super.
The guinea, where they have all the guinea pigs, and see the pots where they cook them. Just running around here. Now we're sort of on top of the world here. I'm not even sure the name of the town, but they have a Christian church that was built on top of a Inca, some kind of Inca religious place, and so this is, you know, old Inca village, but it's very pretty up here, and of course all the villages are out to sell their wares. Back to the hotel, and Susan brought out her spoils here. This is what she had bought for today. We're up at our favorite spot. We've been here, this is our third time, I think. But basically, the hotel is right behind that girl there, with the flags flying. So we're right really near our hotel in the square. It's our last night, so we came to a place that'll have a show. So here, yeah, and here is, that's one of those guinea pigs. What is this here?
This is pig's heart, and this is alpaca.
So Susan was the first one to go up there and eat. She had 4 guinea pigs and 2 full alpacas. That round thing there, it looks like a meatball, that's an alpaca. I decided to pass up the hearts of something and the guinea pig. I left those for Susan. This has to be their national anthem. And the alpaca was very good. A little bit on the sweet side, but quite good. I bought me a flute, so I think I'm going to ask them to give me lessons after the show so I can do a demo tape when I get home.
Sono state allevate la tabelleria come le muestre affilate. Your teacher will find a seatbelt with you.
We're back to Lima in about 12 hours. We'll be heading on home.